Shalom. Let's start off by saying Kol Haloyim La, Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shah Bahashim Rakakadash. The one to the apostles and elders of GMS, and Shalom to the elect. I'm going to jump right into it. This is Ezekiel 35, and it reads, Moreover, the word of the Lord came on to me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir, and prophesy against it. And say unto it, Thus saith the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah, Behold, O Mount Seir, I am against thee, and I will stretch out my hand against thee, and will make thee most desolate. Right, so it says what? Moreover, the word came. So the Lord, that's like before, there were prophets before. I'm gonna get that right now in Jeremiah. It's like it's in the Lamentations, Jeremiah 28. And 8, it says, the prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied against many countries and against great kingdoms of war and of evil and of pestilence. Right? So just like the prophets of before, the same people are out now prophesying against great kingdoms. And in this particular kingdom is speaking about what? Mount Seir, which we know is who? It's speaking about Esau, right? Because it says, Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir and prophesy against it. How we know that's speaking about Esau? Because when you go to Genesis, the 36th chapter, it says what? Verse 8, it says, Thus dwelt Esau in Mount Seir. Esau is Edom. And these are the generations of Esau, the father of the Edomites in Mount Seir. So yeah, when in that scripture, when it speaks about setting your face against Mount Seir, it's basically saying to prophesy against Esau. Let them know what's going to happen. Who is Esau? We know that to be the so-called white man. It says, and prophesy against it. So tell them what's to happen, because the prophesies to speak before something happens. It says, and say unto it, Thus saith the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah, Behold, O Mount Seir, I am against thee, and I will stretch out my hand against thee, and will make thee most desolate. Right? So it's basically telling them what's to come, man. And let me go right into it. Isaiah 34. I'll start at 1. It says, Come near, ye nations, to hear, and hearken, ye people. Let the earth hear, and all that is therein, the world, and all things that come forth of it. For the indignation of the Lord is upon all nations, and his fury upon all their armies. He have utterly destroyed them. He hath delivered them to the slaughter. Right, so that's basically telling Esau, like, listen, man, the Lord is against you, man, and he's gonna destroy y'all, man. This hasn't happened yet, because when you read it in well, we know that hasn't happened because the Lord ain't cracked the cloud, ain't cracked the skies yet. This is a future prophecy to happen, and we understand that Esau is still in rulership today, but we know that his kingdom is slowly, going down the drain. Well, not slowly, it's actually speeding up, and we know we waiting on it at any moment, man. We see prophecies being played out, the MOTB, the rumors of wars, and things of that nature starting to just basically be out in the open and being implemented. So we know that we are close to the Lord's return, and Esau being taken out of his out of that ruling seat, man. Let me get 2nd Esdras. It says, this is 2nd Esdras 6 and 9. It says, For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. Right? And Jacob pertaining to blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, the Israelites. Right? The Lord's chosen people. Right? That basically means that what Esau, which is the base man that the Lord put up, for the time being as a punishment, basically, the Lord's about to take him out, man. And how is he going to take him out? Well, let me get back to that real quick. He's going to take him out by that thermonuclear fire. That's why it says that he's going to lay the land desolate. 1 second, let me get back in Ezekiel. Where was we at? Yep. It says, I'll read it again, verse 3. It says, And say unto it, Thus saith the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah, Behold, I am against thee, and I will stretch out my hand against thee, and I will make thee most desolate. Right. So the Lord, how is the Lord going to make the place desolate, man? When you reading when you reading like Joel, let me get it. Joel and 3. Which part do I want? Well, I'll read it from verse 2. Well, I'll start at verse 1. It says, "For behold, in those days, in that time when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem," right? So when the Lord, in that same time when the Lord is going to come back, right? He's going to take us out of captivity, truly. You know what I mean? Because we are still in captivity to this day. So when the Lord basically going to take the chains off us and take us out from up under the oppression of Esau, what is he going to do? He said, "I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Yahweh Shaphat." Yahweh judges the valley of decision, and I will plead with them, which means he's going to judge. He's going to judge these other nations, man. He says, "And I will judge them. Well, I will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land." Right? Because you know that you got Amalek, as well as some other heathens of occupying the land of Israel as of now. But when the Lord comes back, he's going to judge them, man. Like he said he's going to plead with them at that moment. Let me get Isaiah. Let me see, 13. Is that what I want? One second. Well, I'll get it, verse 9. Isaiah 13 and 9, it says what? "Behold, the day of the Lord cometh cruel, both with wrath and fierce anger, to lay the land desolate, and he will destroy the sinners thereof out of it." Right? So how is he going to, he's going to lay the land desolate when those 200 million warheads come and hit this place, man. When they let those nukes off, man, basically. It's going to lay this land desolate. It's not going to be anything. It's going to be completely destroyed, Let me get back in Ezekiel 3. I'm bugging. Not 3:35. Salakia. Right. Verse 4. It says, "I will lay thy cities waste, and thou shalt be desolate, and thou shalt know that I am the Lord." Right. So basically, the Lord is going to come. When he come, change this thing around, man. He's going to basically destroy this place, destroy Babylon, which is America. And basically the judgment for Esau is basically to go into captivity, serve captivity, and then be destroyed in general after that, man. Because right now Esau is in control. How do we know that? When you read Job, where we at? Yep, Job 9 and 24. What does it say? It says the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. Right. So we understand that who's in the leadership position, who's in control, who's in the driver's seat, so to speak. Well, we know that the Lord ultimately is in the driver's seat, but we also know that the Lord put this man there for a reason. It says that in the scriptures. Let me see if I can find it. I'm fucking. Is that how you spell it? Yep. This is Daniel 4 and 17. "This matter is by the decree of the watchers and the demand of the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and giveth it to whomsoever he will, and he setteth over it the basis of men." Right. So this was to let you understand who's in control. You know what I mean? Let me read it in the NLT real quick. It says, "For this has been decreed by the messengers. It is commanded by the Holy One, so that everyone may know that the Most High rules over the kingdoms of the world. He gives them to anyone he chooses, even to the lowliest of people." Well, the basis of men is speaking about Esau, man, because he's the bottom. He's the bottom of the bottom. You know what I mean? When you read Obadiah, let me get that real quick. And 3. Well, no, not 3. Right? Behold, I made thee small among the heathen. Thou art greatly despised. Right? The Lord made them the lowest of the low, man. You know, they're despised by everybody. They're the bottom. They're the bottom of the bottom. There doesn't get any lower. That's why they're the basis of men. But the Lord basically put them in a ruling position. Why? To just show his power. You know, to show his power. We understand that this man ain't in no position to rule. How can you tell that? Because the scriptures say when the wicked are in authority, the people mourn. And right now, the whole world is in mourning, you know? Even these other nations, they're not as rich as they was before. You know, everybody's going through it, you know? The disease, you know, the fake food, just everything going on, man. Because this man was basically designed to take peace from the earth. You know, so this was ultimately all through the hands of the Lord just to show his true power. But when the Lord now decides to come back, he's going to show his power again by what? By taking him out of that power seat and by putting up one that is profitable. Let me see if I can find that real quick. That's in the book of Sirach. Let me see if I can find that real quick. Salakia, I don't know. Right. This is book of Sirach 10 and 4. It says, the power of the earth is in the hand of the Lord, and in due time he will set over it one that is profitable. Right. And we know that, you know, the power, like I said, the power of the earth is in the hand of the Lord, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. And in due time he will set over one that is profitable. So, you know, he's going to set over it one. Who is Yahweh Shah, along with the joint heirs, which are the 144,000, man. You know, the elect. You know, they're going to be the ones that are basically set. I mean, those are the profitable rulers. Right now, this kingdom is ran by wickedness, man. You know, and I'll get one more script. You know, this is, I want to get Isaiah 32. Right, well, I'll start the first one. This is what I want to get. It says, behold, a king shall reign in righteousness, and princes shall rule in judgment. And that's what's going to happen when this is what we're saying against Mount Seir, Esau. This is what we're telling Esau, that they're going to be taken out of that power seat, man. You know, y'all going to be taken out. And then what's going to happen is that, like I said in the verse 1, behold, a king shall reign in righteousness. Who's that king? That's Yahweh Shah. And the princes shall rule in judgment. That's going to be the 144 laws. Well, you know, we're amongst that number. We're going to be ruling that in judgment, man. We're going to be joint heirs with the Lord. And we're going to take Esau out and we're going to have him working. And, yeah, he's going to go through basically the same curses that were put on us. We're going to have now. We're going to be over him, and we're going to be oppressing him. You know? I want to get one more. I can't remember it right away. Well, let me jump back to Obadiah real quick. Matter of fact, let me get, because now scriptures is just starting to come to me. Yep, this is Jeremiah 50 and 31. It says, behold, I am against thee, O thou most proud, saith the Lord Yahweh of hosts. For thy day is come, the time that I will visit thee. Right. So then it says, and the most proud shall stumble and fall, and none shall rise him up. And I will kindle a fire in his cities, and it shall devour all round about him. And then when you read it in the NLT for the 32, it says, O land of arrogance. And we know that, listen, man, if America ain't the land of arrogance, man, then I don't know what is. It says, O land of arrogance, you will stumble and fall, and no one will raise you up, for I will light a fire in the cities of Babylon, which we know is America. And what? How is that fire going to be lit? You know, with the ICBMs, the 200 million warheads, as well as the concentrated fire from the chariots. It says, for I will light a fire in the cities of Babylon that will burn up everything around them. Right. And that's what's going to come, man. And that's what we're telling Esau is going to happen to him. That's what we're prophesying against Mount Seir. And so I read it again in verse 31. It says, behold, I am against thee, O thou most proud. Right. And we know that that pride, man, Esau is known for that pride. Obadiah 3, I'll end it with this. It says, the pride of thy heart hath deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the cliffs of the rocks, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? And that's what Esau is saying. You know, he's been able to, through the Lord allowing him basically to be in that trick bag. He's been able to do what? To set up his little space stations. You know, to set up his chipping stations, to get the world to be deceived, to jab people up, basically to do whatever the hell he wants to do. You know what I mean? To just basically implement more iniquity in the world. He's been able to do that. And because sentence against an evil work isn't executed speedily, now this man, you know what I'm saying? He's basically drunk. You know what I mean? He basically think that he could do whatever. And it says, because it said what? Who shall bring me down to the ground? Though thou exalt thyself as an eagle, and though thou set thy nest amongst the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith the Lord. And that's what's going to happen. Even though you done did all of this, you know what I'm saying? You got control, you got people chipped up, you in space, you all over the place, man. You basically thinking that you got it all. That's when the Lord is going to bring you down. You know, and that's, again, what we're prophesying against Esau, man. So with that, I'm going to say, Kol Haloyim La, Yahweh Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shah Ba'Hashem Rekakadash. Till next time, Shalom.